Well, happy 4th of July, everyone. I am so excited to share with you some really wonderful news. You know, we've all been waiting for really almost a year now for a new phone system. And praise God, it is here, and we are going to have it start July 2nd. We do not know the exact time, so it may start during your shift. It may not until after your shift, and you might not see any changes until next week. But starting Monday, at some point, we do not know when, all of our phone calls will go from our old system and switch right over to the new system. That it will not be anything where you should notice the change at all. It'll still come directly to your phone. You will still hear, this is the prayer and helpline. Press 1 if you want to be connected. All of that will be the same. You will press 1 to be connected. But the news that you've been waiting for is there will be no more call waiting beeps in the background anymore. It's going to be a faster system. It's not going to bother calling you if you already are on the prayer line with someone else. So if the line beeps, it's going to be probably one of your friends or a salesman or someone else calling you, but it will not be the prayer line if you are already on a call with the prayer line. Isn't that exciting? I know, I'm so excited myself. Anyway, the second thing that you're going to notice is after the call, you have an opportunity to press star and give us the outcome of the call. Now, this is really, really important because, you know, we like to put together these statistics. I like to give you information every week and every month to tell you all the calls we got, all the salvations we got, all the things that have happened. This way, we're going to collect some of that information immediately. How it's going to work is, as soon as you hang up, you'll have the opportunity to go press that star button. And then you're going to hear some questions. And they're very, very quick. It's going to be done very, very quickly, so it's not going to stop you from getting your next call. But it will wait to have you do that before it will send you another call. This is how the tech set it up, and I really don't have a lot of control over that portion. So let's work together so that you can get maximize as many calls as you can get during your shift, and you know that's important, so many hurting people. But in addition, we're going to get feedback that I'll be able to share with all of you every week and once a month. First off, it's going to ask you, was it an other? I know you're going to say, what's other? So if you want to ignore that, it's okay. But basically what they're going to say is, did you have a profession of faith? If somebody, while they were on the phone with you and you guys prayed together and they wanted Jesus to be Lord over their life, you would press that button. It's going to ask you if it was a spiritual conversation. Probably going to ignore that because, of course, all of our conversations are spiritual. We're always talking about Jesus. If it's going to ask you about a gospel presentation, well, obviously you did that, or you would not be clicking that you gave a profession of faith. So those are a couple you might just ignore, and again, you might just hit other, going back to the one, if it's not a opportunity to have salvation. That's the first portion of questions that they're going to ask you. The second part is, they want to know if there was no response. For example, did the person, you said hello, and they didn't answer at all? Well, we know we've had that before, and we've just wondered what was going on there. So the techs want to know, did that happen to you? Because they're going to check into it. So if there was a no response, click no response after you said hello. Otherwise, keep going forward. The next question they're going to offer you a chance to answer is, what kind of call was it? What was the topic? Relationships? Was it, again, they're going to ask you a repeat. Was there a salvation message or rededication? Did they do that on the phone? And that may be put together at this point. And then they're going to ask you, was it health? Was it finances? And you're just going to pick one of those. Pick one if it's health. Pick two if it's finances. Pick three. And it's just going to be just like all those other surveys. Once it's over, you hang up and all your calls are going to come back right to you. It's going to be very, very easy. I also have these instructions in a thing that you can download. I'm just sending it to you as an attachment, but for right now, I want to go over it with you. It's also going to say something that's a little odd to you. It's going to say, do you want to block this call? Please ignore that. Contact me immediately when you feel that you have an inappropriate caller. This is not going to help if you click that, so don't even bother with it. Just contact me as you always do. Just ignore that one and go ahead and hang up. Finish the call like you did. Now, who does this help? Remember, I just said it's going to really help me. It's really going to help you. Well, how? Well, many of you do not know there's a precious lady that I love, and you would all love her too because she'd love you. Her name is Penny. And Penny, for several years now, looks through all of our prayer requests, all of our prayer referrals, all of that, every week, and she sends me a report, which is the ones I send you for praise reports and how many salvations we got, and there were crisis callers. She lets me know the crisis callers and the phone numbers in case I missed one. She's there checking on all of that so I don't miss anything. This is going to help Penny to collect some of that information right up front. And then you're still going to do a phone log. Please go back in and make sure you do that phone log for me. Just because you finished a phone call and you clicked all those, I still want to hear those stories. You know, we want to see if Betty continues to call every week. I need to know that, and that's not going to ask you on that survey. If there's a great praise report or somebody has a special crisis and you need me to know about it, I need to know too. So you still got to fill out those phone logs. Still got to give me people's names. Just first, as you know, we don't keep big phone logs on anybody with names, last names, all of that kind of stuff. Just a quick little thing that we can just say, oh, there is a real need for this Betty. She's having real trouble with her marriage, or there was a real need for George. We see he's calling over and over. He's from the hospital. We want to really press in for George. We don't want to know his last name, as you know, if George needed to call back, those kinds of things. So you still want to get that to me, as you always do if it's a callback, if somebody needs a referral. That's, again, a text or an email. You still want to get to me if there's a person who's inappropriate in a text or an email so that I can block them. But we want to know from you phone logs, and we also want to have that quick survey. It is going to be so helpful to you when I get to show you all the great things that happen, because we'll get statistics right away. Everything's going to work so well. Plus, be able to share with our partners, like the radio stations and the churches and the other ministries that we work with, what kind of calls we are getting, and just have that all percolated together. It's going to be so great, and it's just going to make you feel so good on what we're doing. It really is. So thank you so much for participating with that. I know you're going to love it. I know we're all going to really, really love it. So again, that little thing at the end of your conversation, when you press star, it's going to just take you a few quick seconds. It's going to say other, and if you know it wasn't a salvation, you're going to click other. If you know it was a salvation, you're going to click salvation. Then it's going to ask you, what was the outcome, which means the topic of conversation, and you're going to say, oh, relationships. Yep, going to press 1 for relationship. 2, health. Well, it wasn't. It was all about relationships. However you need to do it, but you can only pick one on every single call. So just pick the most important one. And then, again, just a few seconds, and then still, please fill out your phone logs. I really love hearing from you. I really love knowing what's going on there. Now, eventually, they may end up actually doing a real quick callback. So, you won't have to press star yourself if you didn't press star, which is what they want us to do. But if you didn't, there may be a call up back with a quick ring saying you did not, give the survey. It's really important. The techs have put all this work into it, so they may develop that. So let's just go ahead and do it. It only takes a few seconds, and avoid that extra time because we want to get to the next phone call. I really know that it may seem like a nuisance at first, especially having to remember to press star. And if you don't, nobody's going to be mad at you. But eventually they will, because I don't have any control over that. They will set up that phone call, and it will call you back. So let's get it done before they have to call us back. Part of this phone system that we are working with is a bigger ministry that they take calls for other. They don't take calls for other ministries. They do statistics and do phone services for other ministries, and apparently they all like that. So that's why they've developed it, and that just is going to come with the system. So I don't have a real choice, but I think it's going to be a really great blessing. So that's how it's going to work. It's going to be a blessing to all of us, because that is part of the package deal that comes because these particular men who created our system are mighty men of God, and that's how they're doing it for all ministries. Nobody is like our ministry, though. They have different kinds of ministries, but irregardless, we're getting put into that package. So it's going to be a great one, and we're going to really, really be happy. Just thank you for all of the hard work that you're going to do. Totally, absolutely appreciate you so very, very much. One last thing, there will still be, just like with our texting, and those of you that are in texting will recognize it, there'll be a portion that says flag. So after you've answered health, relationship, finances, it's going to ask you if you wanted to flag a call. So if it's suicide or crisis, that should come to me right away. But you know what? Call me if you think it's immediate and you need me to know about it, or text me or email me, because you just never know. It may take 24 to 48 hours, and you all know that's way too late. So do a flag, no problem. It will come to me, but we definitely want to let me know personally if there's something specific. So love you all dearly. Thank you for listening. I know it was really long. It's over 10 minutes, but it's really worth it. It's like a training class today. So take your time, reread it, read the attachment, study it, and it'll be easy for you. I love you all dearly. God bless you. Thank you for all you do, because this prayer line would never be what it is without the loving, compassionate people that you are. God bless you.